We hear kids say negative things about themselves all the time. Sometimes this kind of self-talk, meaning both our inner critic and the things we say about ourselves out loud, is harmless. But when a kid seems to do it a lot, it can create an unhealthy tendency to think the worst of themselves. I'm Emma Woodward, a clinical psychologist in the Anxiety Disorder Center at the Child Mind Institute. This is the third and last video in a 3-part series about negative self-talk. We've already discussed why some kids are more prone to negative self-talk than others, and we've highlighted some specific signs that it might be a larger problem. Now, I'd like to share some ways parents and caregivers can help kids reframe negative ways of thinking about themselves. It's important to listen to and validate a child when they express negative thoughts, even if they sound silly, not based in reality, or even a bit concerning. It can be tempting to ignore negative self-talk or immediately correct it, like saying, "That's silly, of course you're good at soccer." But listening to a child's worries and concerns lets them know that they can be open with you. And when the goal is to understand why a child might be putting themselves down, it's better to hear them out and ask questions rather than shut them down, even if it's painful to hear them speak this way. On a similar note, don't push overly positive thinking. Offer a more realistic approach. If a child says no one's going to talk to them on the first day of school, you don't want to respond, "It's going to be great, you're going to make 1,000,000 friends." Instead, say something like, "The first day of school might be a bit scary, but as you settle in, you'll likely make friends and grow to love it." Also, talk to kids in a way that puts their experience in context and offers a broader perspective. Help them identify why they might have made a self-critical statement. Did they say they stink at soccer just because they missed one goal? And then explain that one bad experience doesn't equate to being the worst at something. Engaging kids in conversation and letting them explain their concerns, again, even if they seem confusing to you, can be a big help. Finally, the best way to help kids combat negative self-talk is by modeling grace for yourself. If you put yourself down, correct the record and make it a teachable moment. Say you burn dinner and yell in frustration, "I'm a terrible cook." Continue the conversation in front of your child and say something like, "Actually, I'm a pretty good cook most of the time. I messed up this dish, but it might be worth trying again when I'm not distracted." If your child keeps putting themselves down or exhibits some of the warning signs explained in this video series, consider consulting their pediatrician or a mental health professional. And for more information on how to support kids and encourage healthier self-talk, visit the Family Resource Center at childmind.org.